Okay, welcome to the Real UFO Show. These are images from a real UFO under filter. It's from real video. Please like and subscribe and hit the notifications bell. This is being checked out by AARO, the government agency to check out UFOs. This is just a trial run of this show, intending to be every day. But now starting, this UFO was in 2014 in Grand Rapids, Michigan, August 6th, around 10:03 at night. And the UFO returned about 40 minutes later and was going directly up into outer space. That was seen by an officer, and there was another officer present with dash cam as me and the officer watched the UFO go directly out into space and leave and disappear. So the video I took is legitimate, and it is being checked out by the Pentagon group AARO, and then NASA will look at it next. It was originally at Gillibrand's group out of New York, but they moved that over into the AARO department. So word is this week, AARO is going to find out if they receive the authorization form to disclose the data. So I believe it's a real UFO. People think it looks like a street light. The fact of the matter is it's a UFO surrounded by nothing but the black of space. So nobody really has a picture of a street light that looks like a UFO of mine. They just say it. A close resemblance is a mercury light on the side of a steel building, but that's a building that is used to make the image. The UFO that I have is from beyond Pluto. And this thing is operating on its own power. So when I thought it was maybe Venus or a helicopter or a jet, something like this, I thought I won't be taking video, but I thought I better take video because it turns out to be something like a UFO or something. You got to have your video done. So it wasn't showing up on the screen. It was actually it was just too something. It wouldn't show up on the screen. I don't think it was too bright. It had some kind of some quirkiness about it. So it wouldn't show up on my phone screen, so I knew that I was recording it. So I just aimed at the mercury light on the side of a building, and I waited for it to pass over. So I have them both in frame, the mercury light and the UFO, and there's a jet in the background. And that missed by, I don't know, maybe a football field away. However, I had CIA check out this UFO through Air Force retired, a captain, and this was in 2015. He looked at the video and he said, "That's a UFO." He said, he says he's going to take that in to his CIA buddies at Wright-Patterson, and they're going to look at it with their supercomputers. I said, all right, go ahead. 2 weeks later, he returned with a whole bunch of data. He said they knew all kinds of things. So there's all kinds of data to go over. They had the height of this thing, 1,500 feet up. They said they tested the beam of light for wood or steel, and it was neither. It is a light. And the whole thing is refracting, meaning it's changing direction while moving through air, water, or glass. So once they came back with that data, I was convinced. But however, some of the others were looking at the UFO and they concluded streetlight. People like, Mark D'Antonio at MUFON, he said he thought it was a streetlight in around 2020. Now, 2015, I had it checked out at MUFON by Daniel Snow, and he thought it was a street lamp. So there's just a lot of different possibilities that people say it is. Michael Surratt will call it a silent helicopter. Other people call it a reflection. The list goes on and on. It's just a UFO, plain and simple. So when I took video, I was able to pause the video of the UFO, and then I was able to zoom in on the image and take another screenshot, and then that could be zoomed in. And eventually, I took what was a little white light bouncing around on the screen at night and well into a well-developed image with a lot of detail. So when I add edits, like there's various edits like brightness, hue, uh, vintage, Noreg, cartoon, all these other edits and stuff you add as for your filter, you get these images that emerge from the UFO. So by reducing the shine of these videos, uh, glare from the UFO, well, I'm able to bring out images like an alien standing there, literally an alien standing there, and there is a bird uh, that is standing at the foot of the alien, and the alien is holding a tablet, and by measurements from the CIA, as they said, the laser, well, I call it laser, but that light beam, they said that was 8 feet wide as it left the UFO and expanded to over 30 feet. So at 8 feet wide, I measured the alien at about 12 feet tall and the bird at about 3 feet tall. And the alien is holding a tablet, literally. And I think that this is, I think it's Anunnaki because they've been here before. They have a human-like image, and that's what the alien is. It has a human-like image. There's a bird there that looks like an eagle. I'd say that would sound like Imdagud or Anzu, the giant bird. Possibility that the alien is Marduk of the Anunnaki, the son of Enki, the good Anunnaki. And holding a tablet, that tablet could be the tablet of destinies. Well, it's about 2 foot by 4 foot. So it's being held prominently and chest high by the alien. And there's a lot going on. Now, the CIA said that the UFO was refracting or changing direction while it moves through air, water, or glass. And they said that the whole thing, it was acting like a whirlpool. They said it was acting like a whirlpool. And I said, like a tornado, like an eddy. They said no, like a whirlpool. Okay. So they went on to make other discoveries on this UFO. So I'm pretty sure that AARO will make discoveries on this real UFO, which some say, well, that's just a street light you got. Yeah, it looks like a street light, right? But there's no street nearby. The closest street is about 70 yards away. And I'm standing within 1 square meter of, GPS location, and there's no street around. It's just a misnomer. It's just a way to say something. You know, you have a street light. I'm sorry, you don't have a UFO from whatever beyond Pluto, outside this galaxy or whatever. But it is being checked out by professionals right now, and I have several reports from MUFON, but none of those reports really take the UFO into account. They really only look at maybe the jet in one report. The big focus is on the jet, or another report is if they look at the UFO, they'll just glance at it, by eye, and just maybe make a sentence about it, something like, you know, it's a street light or a street lamp in the lower right hand corner, whichever one they prefer. So it's a fact that having them check out the real UFO is a difficult task because for some reason they don't want to. There could be another MUFON report, and it would go like, well, why don't you check out this UFO on video, and I'll send some screenshots, to help you understand the video. But when you send screenshots to MUFON, they tend to really look at those screenshots more than the video, and that's what they did. They looked at the screenshots and ruled on the screenshots and how I edited the screenshots to show placement of the objects that night, where the Mercury light was, where the UFO was, where the phone was at the video location. You show them these things, and then they just go off on a tangent and say, well, nothing here. So to get an honest report on the UFO hasn't really been done. It's been tried, but it really hasn't been done. So now I'm going through the AARO group, and hopefully they will make sense of the UFO I have on video. I'm pretty confident of the data that I do have. So it's a matter of getting it validated, like I was trying to do at MUFON, but would not occur. And I hope to try that with AARO. Okay, so let's look at what else is going on with this UFO. Well, when I had filmed and videoed this UFO, I had reported this to the National UFO Reporting Center, and Peter Davenport, he looked at this UFO, and he responded that there was nothing that said to him this was a UFO. So that was a report there at the National UFO Reporting Center. So basically, Peter Davenport's report was, well, there's just nothing that he sees that says, UFO to him. I mean, there's a lot of designs of UFO, but he judged it right away that there was nothing. So we've been looking at these images, and I guess I could explain some of them. For example, this would be the UFO I have in question. And this is the beam of light. Here's the UFO again, and the Mercury light. And here's the Mercury light. Here's the UFO. This would be the Mercury Light UFO up here. So this whole thing is like 300 feet big, and it seems to be twin lasers coming down. So these images are in reverse. There's the alien, the dot, and there you see the head and the body. And it's a lot clearer outside of these photos. You'll see the bird down the lower, and there's the actual bird. You can see the bird standing there. And there's the alien holding the tablet. There's the alien again. You can see his face. The images are clearer. This is just a test run of this particular video type. And you can see obviously the face. There's the bird again. Um, these are all edits that show placement. The first shot of the UFO was not an edit, but was just zoomed in. There's flames falling from the UFO, actual flames, size of a car. That's the size of a Volkswagen Bug. This whole thing, unbelievable. Like a Stellar's eagle bird. Alien stand there. You can clearly see the image of this alien. Flames falling. Pointing to that one because that was highlighted as the larger flame. So there's that flame. So skipping ahead, these are all valid images of the real UFO. So here's the laser. And though the thing looks like it's on fire or burning up like a piece of paper, all the aliens on board are fine looking there, and they're all calm as can be. So there's something to think about. This is laser. This is the laser. So close you can see detail. Laser. It's not a blurry image. It's not a dot. The end of the laser. The whole UFO in the laser. It's a pretty clear image that you can see. Even the so much as not only the eye of the alien, you can see the eye of the eagle. So this is the tablet he's holding. You can see all this detail on this tablet. And that's pretty incredible right there. So that matches up with the story of the Sumerians over near Iraq, who are basically the first civilization. And what they had were the Anunnaki, these star travelers. Means those who from the heavens came. Anunnaki showed. There's the jet. MUFON sees the jet. That's a MUFON report, and that was my UFO at the bottom. So they can see this little dot called the jet, and they see that moving. Okay, so they made comparisons in my screenshots, and they drew out that I had edited the screenshot in. It's not a video, so they still didn't get to it. The ebook is Mock UFO from Amazon Kindle. Here's some reports from Mark D'Antonio. This is a chart from 2015 MUFON. The red line slant, that was the jet. You can see the little UFO below it. They call that street lamp. I'm at Michigan UFO as a video at YouTube. Michigan UFO. Very hard to find. It's buried by YouTube, and it's not really easy to surface. Some of these images, maybe the screen is too bright, but you'll catch that next time. We're going to clean up these images for the next live stream. This is just a practice run again. Edits. This is a blur image, casting the phone down. It makes that blur. I didn't think I was videoing. Edits. These are various edits. There's a cross, actual cross. It's probably 3 feet by 6 feet, and it's located up here up on top of the UFO. It's a piece of debris, and you zoom in, and the cross is in the center. That's an edit of that edit. There's an actual cross with a lot of interesting designs going on. You'll see the inside has 4 each side. Each inside corner has 4 of these inside corner ridges. That's interesting. So there's the UFO over a building. Um, that would have been the cop seeing the dot, which was a UFO. So we're gonna clean up these images and show them a lot better. These are just some old MUFON reports of that same sighting. This shows where the cross would be. The arrow points to the cross. It's below. See that? That would be the cross below the UFO. That'd be the cross right there. The cross is inside there, is that design. And you see the UFO is primarily that white. Well, there's the cross inside there. Well, now there's that white. But now it's up on top, as it was showed in that picture. The cross was on top of the white being the UFO. So before it was below, now it's on top. Kind of moves around a little. This one here is the flame, the main flame. That's the size of a Volkswagen Bug. It's falling into the start of the laser. So that's unique. So this is unedited. Now here's a blurred image, the mercury light below. That's where I was standing, and the jet was way up at the top. And you see, all this is completely legitimate. So some people are saying, well, you know, you got to get it checked out by the professionals. Well, I tried. I went to many people. I've talked to many people. I've contacted Bigelow. I've contacted ufologists, people that run UFO shows online. I've contacted Coast to Coast AM. Now, I have some people that are following my UFO on Messenger, like Clyde Lewis of Ground Zero. A person that follows me is John B. Wells, and I've been on a show or two with John talking about my UFO, and he said, well, he'll always do another show again. So that's good. Tom DeLong is my friend on Facebook, and he read several of my messenger messages about my UFO, but he since faded around 2018 from my messenger. But that doesn't mean I don't have the UFO. I do. I put my UFO up on Twitter a couple months ago. You know, Elon's X, right? Wrong, it didn't work because he blocked me, and within an hour, I think it was 53 minutes, I was on Twitter. I had posted the UFO. It was just the UFO under edit. I think I showed the picture here. It was the red UFO. Kind of looked like it was on flames. And my profile was the blue cross. And that was from the UFO. But I tried a lot to get back on Twitter for some reason. And I went through all their checks and robots, I am not, and all that, and their checks. And I got cleared and back on. Congratulations. Only to find the next day, blocked again. Locked out, I guess it was. They said they found suspicious activity on the account. Well, what was it? You know, just posted a UFO. So it can't stand it over there. Something's going on there. So I felt like about 3 times I was blocked off of there before I busted through and had them say, "Okay, you're approved." Just go look. It was a lot of checking to get back on that thing, only to probably be shadow banned. Probably shadow banned to the fact of, you're like, "Oh, I'm getting all these hits. I get one hit every 12 hours, and I've been getting that for 5 days in a row. That's what I am." But when I started, it was more like, I think it was like one hit every 4 minutes or something. And it was just creeping up in that first hour too fast to keep track of or something. So that happens. So I'm wondering how it will go here with the YouTube. So I'm trying to show real aliens real UFOs, real data. I'm trying to keep it interesting in that regard because I have the report from AARO due out, and that's going to make a lot of sense to people, and that's going to be worth reporting. So I started with AARO, and that was, I guess, 6 months ago. But I was starting with Gillibrand like in April of, I'd say, 2022. So it seems like it's been about a year and a half trying to get my UFO checked out. I just sent them a UFO, in the video. But it becomes a lot. So I sent them an authorization form on the 7th of October, 2023 to AARO. And I checked back with them a handful of days later. They said they don't see it. They don't see the email. I told them where it was sent from and told, who sent it. And nope, they couldn't find it. Please resend it. So I resent it. And now I'm supposed to find out this week if they got the authorization form, which is a data release form that they'll have. My understanding so far is they'll be able to release my UFO data, probably to their website, or maybe to people, or maybe to me in general. But I filled out that form, and I thought it was just maybe an invoice or some receipt, or I don't know, some kind of clarification that I had previously filled out a form, and they were just echoing back. And so the writing was kind of small, and it wasn't anything too drastic. I looked it over a little, and it said, basically my suggestions on what to do. Look at the UFO and expedite. Blah, blah. So I thought, okay, that's just making sure everything is in the prompts and filled out, and that's the way I want it. And that's what I've submitted. Yeah, I don't know why I've submitted so many of those, you know, submissions of the UFO video constantly over and over, calling AARO, calling Gillibrand. So, but that was what, August maybe of 2023. I'd say maybe August 23rd. And then I just kind of said, all right, that's fine. Let it, let the submission set. Just gonna rest. And all of a sudden, October 7th, 2023, I checked the screenshot I made of the authorization form, which I didn't know was a true authorization form. I started reading it and said, what am I screenshotting here? Read it all the way, and the big bold print was Kirsten Gillibrand, and then it got smaller, Senator New York, and then it got smaller, and it would say authorization form for data release of this information. So look there at the bottom of the whole paper, I need a sign and date. So I realized this was something I had to submit, and they said you can fax it or you can put it in the email. So I sent it in the email, but they said they lost it. So I sent it in again. So we're going to have to see. So AARO is a group from the Pentagon, and the AARO group means All Domain Anomalous Resolution Office. That's it, AARO. So their job is to look at basically UFO data, I believe, from commercial pilots, or secondly, military. So why am I there? As I went through Gillibrand originally, and her company got absorbed into AARO. So I just kind of fell in over there. But believe me, this is a real UFO. It's worth checking. They're going to find a lot of data. And finding a lot of data on this UFO is going to be valid. And it's going to match up with all the other data that is out there. Some people say the CIA data is not valid. There's no letterhead with the CIA. You don't know it was the CIA. Somebody like the captain in the Air Force would tell you it was CIA, but you don't know. And they'll say, you can't say it's a UFO, but yet they can say it's a streetlight, or, they pretty much um, want to just say 51% it's not real, and 49% it's just something else. So they really don't give me much of a good chance of having it be a UFO. So I have to have this checked out. Because if people challenge it and say, it's not real, and you're imagining this, and there's no way this is what it is, and in fact, I know what it is. It's this way, but they vary from all the other people in what it is. That tells me there's no consistency. So I pay attention to what I know. It's a UFO. It was moving. It's not stationary like a street light. It's not sticking in the ground. It isn't something to light the cars. Um, this was a UFO traveling about 30 miles an hour. So when I saw it, this is the UFO about 2 miles away, over to the west. Now this was approaching my location in the east, the rising sun side, and it was tracking a little north, but then it was going a little bit more east and heading straight for my location. But at the same time, there was a jet to my south approaching my location and kind of going to the north by northwest. Well, the two objects, the jet and the UFO, crossed paths right overhead. So on video, you can hear the jet rumbling. And I was making comments just to check for audio too, because some people will say, oh, it was silent because there's no audio, or you had your thumb over the microphone. You know how they can be. But nope, it was a silent UFO. There was no sound on it. There was no sound at all. This was a UFO that was the size of a city block, 1,500 feet up, going about 30 miles an hour. So I didn't think it was on video, so I stopped filming video with my phone, and I just watched the UFO continue to travel. And with the length of the building and the shrubbery and the trees and this and that, it eventually had reached way over to the horizon and was out of sight. And that's when I had called the police. Eventually, they'd come over after I'd called the FAA and called my friend, and I'd kind of wonder what to do. And I said, all right, I'll call the police. 40 minutes later, and they'd stopped over. And the first police officer steps out. There's another police officer behind him in a cruiser. So there's two cruisers, and then there's me. The officer steps up to me. He goes, what's going on? And I said, I saw a UFO. And so I pointed up into the high up in the northeast sky. I said it was like right over there, traveling over that way. I said, hey, wait a minute, look. I said, look, what is that? And it was a jet traveling, moving. I go, wait, that's a jet. Hold on. I go, wait a minute, what's that? And we looked up further up to the northwest. We saw a little dot of light way up high, almost overhead, but just traveling straight away out in outer space. Little dot of light kind of wavering. Saw it for like 5 seconds. I go, you see that? He goes, I see it. I go, you got that? He goes, I got it. And all of a sudden, whoa, we both reacted. Right then, as it disappeared, went black. And the other officer stepped out. He said, what was that? And I said, it was another UFO. I said, it was about 60,000 feet up. And the officer with me said, no, it was more like 10,000 feet, something like this. So we could not decide. And then they were called off an emergency right away. and they took off, and I didn't get a case number or report. When I tried later, I couldn't obtain the report. So I filed for a supplemental report in which an officer would show up a couple days later and take a report on kind of what happened. And he thought it looked he thought it was a light attached to a pole. So the common thing is it looks like a street light and everything like this, but it's a UFO. It's the same UFO that went into outer space. Usually when a cop sees, or an officer sees a UFO, his word is supposed to be golden. That's a whole UFO report on its own. And so it's just kind of amazing how you can get, you know, a report from so much as maybe an officer, but it kind of goes down as, well, it's kind of mediocre. But you see, I have the video of this UFO, and this leads to these, I guess, these aliens, I'll call them, literally. So I think it's Sumerians. I think here's Marduk. And I think what happened is, according to the Sumerian tradition, this bird called Imdagud, okay, is in the story of this Sumerian tablet, which is apparently a powerful tablet. And that is controlled by Enki, the father of Marduk. Well, the reason Marduk now has the tablet is the Sumerian text tells that when the tablet, which was given to Enki, when that tablet was finally stolen, it was stolen by the evil brother Enlil. So his evil brother stole the tablet and took it to a mountain lair high up. So Enki, who is the good Anunnaki who likes humans, uh, he sent the bird Imdagud. Now, apparently, Imdagud is an evil demonic bird, but it did the work by flying up, grabbing the tablet, and then flying back. But Sumerian text says the bird was shot at by arrows. Enlil fired arrows, but missed. Nonetheless, it startled this bird called Imdagud, and it dropped the tablet. And the tablet fell into the hands of Marduk, the son of Enki. Now, Enki's all right with Marduk having the tablet. But if you look at Greek mythology, they'll say the bird was slain by the arrows, at which rate the tablet still fell to Marduk. So the tablet gives power to the Anunnaki. It gives them the ability to create UFOs. It gives them immortality, gives them longevity, gives them wisdom, strength. It must be held prominently and chest high. And that is what the alien is doing in the video, holding the tablet of destinies, I would say. And below him seems to be that bird. That bird, they said, that could flap its wings and cause a gust of wind that would be very, very powerful. So it does appear to look like it's in some kind of state of suspended animation, or it's like an AI construction, or a cyborg, or it's electricity, or it's some kind of interdimensional thing, or it just doesn't seem like it's all the way a flesh and blood being. But that's the way these aliens are with this craft. So when these aliens arrived, well, they needed gold. these aliens needed gold from our planet because they were going to take it back to their home planet called Nibiru. And there they were going to spray the gold dust into the atmosphere, reflecting their sun's harmful rays, thus saving Nibiru. So Nemesis is their star, Wormwood, and that is our binary sun. So we have the sun, and there is a second star called Nemesis. And we really don't see it, but we can feel the gravitational effects of it. So by having a binary or two stars in your system, that keeps those stars in check. So those two stars hang out together by using gravity to bring each other close, and then they slingshot past, but gravity brings them close, and they slingshot past, but gravity brings them back. So they're always staying kind of relatively within their own vicinity. Therefore, then they carry their moons and planets kind of similarly kind of stabilized. Well, when Nemesis goes roaring through, it can bring a lot of destruction. So they're having problems on Nibiru, they say. This was a long time ago. They said they needed gold. Well, the Sumerians were given this knowledge in exchange from the aliens. So the aliens said, all right, we're going to give you this knowledge. We're going to give you all kinds of inventions. We're going to give you the plow. You're going to learn to turn the soil up. We're going to show you irrigation, how to run water out to your fields. We're going to show you the canal system. We're going to show you the written system with cuneiform writing. That's going to be a clay tablet we're going to have, and we're going to like take like sticks and like stick it in this cuneiform and make these marks, and it's going to be like a writing. And you're going to have a monetary system, and we're going to invent contracts, and we're going to teach you about how to run sewage and how to survive. And you do that. You let us get this gold, you mine it, and we'll give you this technology. We got a UFO and everything else. So a lot of things came out of Samaria. They think the wheel came out of Samaria. A lot of things, a lot of inventions, a lot of things turned the corner. So people are like, well, who's responsible? Well, sometimes the Anunnaki. So I think that's who's on video. But you could easily find people that say, well, that's a street light. Well, yeah, but see, that takes care of my whole story right there without me wanting to do such a thing. I've got a UFO I like to run. I'd like to, but it's just that there's people that say, well, you can't. You're gonna have to have a hoax, or you're gonna have to have a drone, or a windmill, or a gavel, or a spark plug, or halogen, or Sylvania, or a stadium light with a few lights burned out, or a porch light. You get anything but a real UFO. You get anything but a real UFO. So no, I don't take that. This is a real UFO. They've had problem with disclosure year after year. In fact, they even said, "Hey, look, bring us a UFO here at AARO. Let us check it out." Even NASA's saying, "Hey, look, bring us a UFO. Let us check it out. We're NASA, and we have the technology and the computers, and we want to see what we can get here." So don't be concerned that your UFO is not going to pan out and we're not going to find anything. No, we're going to find it if it's a UFO. We've got the data now. So there I go to have this UFO checked out. So I hope you enjoyed this stream. Now check out more of these streams and videos in the future, as I intend to run these shows more or less around 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, at those times guaranteed. So for now, just remember, this is real. This is Mike Brown, Real UFO. Thank you.